Hello, everyone. This is an important confirmation of one aspect of the Mother Arc Hub activation that we had did on September 21, September 22, and September 23. Uh, and we had did this in preparation and for also energetic support for the bifurcation event of the two timelines, what occurred, the split of a higher timeline and a lower timeline. So the activation that we did was to sustain um, a space for all of those on the higher timeline for this period of bifurcation of approximately 3 to 6 months. So, on the higher timeline, what occurs is all of those in alignment advance in their divine abilities and capabilities in the least. And so, it's a very uh, important most important time, I would say, with this planetary ascension, because it involves much more development and advancement on the individual divine level. Now, having said this, what I wish to say is, before I begin, can someone put in the comments section if this is working great so far before I continue, because this is important. Everything is, but this is important. Thank you. I don't see anything in the comments section yet. However, I will continue and trust that this does get out. Okay, the first thing I need to say, I'm going to read uh, the part of our Mother Arc Hub activation uh, that we did on September 21 to 23. Here was the specific part, and I will read it from the activation. From the Pleiades, on a 45-degree angle from the northeast, feminine, divine feminine, anchor in the spectrum of the seven sacred rays that are based on silver and gold. This restores the natural rhythm of the Merkaba light field of the planet Gaia to the proper 45-degree calibration of balance and harmony, and is individually received by all souls that compensate their individual fields to the proper alignment and spin ratios. This activates more light bodies in those previously dormant because of past intentional nefarious distortions. A little bit of an explanation with this. Many were also suppressed because of certain areas of their inner work. They were unable to master a lot of the distortions, the fear. And as a result of them not uh, mastering the fear to such a degree, uh, their Merkavas were not coming online adequately enough. Their light bodies were not being activated to the degrees that we would like, let's say. So what this does, it expedites more of that process. Now it's important. Also, I am going to read the one last sentence of that part of the activation. A shield of light is now activated through the anchoring of the following 7 sacred rainbow rays, anchoring in 6 sacred pastel rays. Now, with this, what has also occurred on September 27, 2 days ago, there was the visual in the night sky, which is a visual confirmation, and I require no confirmations. However, when we get these distinct visuals, they are very great to see as well, and it also shows me how much the activation has progressed, what stage and what level we are at it with its full integration and with its process. So with this activation overall, the Mother Arc Hub activation, it is still in process of being fully integrated. For it is a very complex divine creation. And having said this, it is it's very rapidly constructing itself because the intent in the divine uh, creator commands have been put on the planet for its construction, and this is what all of us did that participated in this. So, nevertheless, there is no guesswork. It's not a fantasy. It's not fantastical thinking. It is very real and it's very true. And for us that are involved in these activations, we know this. We don't act on speculation and conjecture, and this is definite divine instructions, and we know it's real and it's what we all do. Um, so having said this, I am going to share with you, I'd read that part, thank you. Yes, I'm Claire. Thank you, Carrie and Craig. So now what I'm going to share what I observed, and also Femke with our visual eyesight in the night sky. So we are presently at the Mother Arc Hub activation site, which is, I like to call it because it is the third temple, the energetic temple, um, which cannot be destroyed. This is also the Mother Arc Hub, and this energetic temple is unlike any in the past. If you look at most temples in the past, they were, let's say, patriarchal based. This new energetic temple is balanced and feminine and masculine. However, because of this reality we are in, the feminine, divine feminine, uh, proportionately are, let's say, the creators in this reality. All life comes into this dimension, into this reality, through the feminine. It is birth. So, without going into a lot of detail, this Mother Arc Hub is the mother creation. So, it's mother and father in creation. So, for example, Prime Creator God God the Father did not create the Mother God. Without going into how this works, it was a split, if you will, of source theirself into the first two distinct uh, genders, God genders, Mother God and Father God. That was the initial split. But nevertheless, in this dimension, the divine feminine is most is what's the word? There are more divine feminine creators than there are masculine. I'll put it that way. All right. So here's what occurred on September the 27th here in Romania at the Mother Ark hub site, and we are remaining on location here with our energy, maintaining the energetics to sustain this also this house of God, house of the Holy Spirit as well, and all that that entails with bringing the Holy Spirit right to ground level, if you will, upon the planet. So what happened on September the 27th, while I am sitting outside, instructed, watching the night sky, because it does play an important role in the activations in the overall ascension and what have you. So while I was looking towards the east, I see the beautiful Pleiades, the seven sisters, and which is beautiful. Then what I see is we're a little bit slanted in the camper, so I got to. So what I see is, let's say the Pleiades is right where my nose is at, the tip of my nose. So there is this V construction, I'll level this out, of about an equilateral triangle. I'm going to go this way. So what we have is, I don't know why the camera this time is the opposite, but it is. So what we had in the night sky was the Pleiades right about my nose, and up, should be on this side, up on the upper right side we had Jupiter, and this is important, Jupiter. Over on the other top side we had a dim star, and I was instructed to strengthen the light of that. And on the very bottom was a Merkaba ship flashing its colors. Now you remember what I had said in the reading off the part in the activation. We specified the Merkaba light body. So now what we are doing is I'm beginning to share how this all coincides perfectly and fits into the activation, and is the confirmation of what has occurred. So the activation was September 23rd. This occurred 4 days later on the 27th in the evening. So with this, it is the V shape with the Pleiades in the middle, right about where my nose at. This is the Holy Grail. This is the Divine Feminine, and it is the Divine Feminine triangle part of the Merkaba. So this is all in complete alignment with what was seen in the sky. What I need to say is that the Merkaba was flashing. This is activated, so this is very significant flashing. I didn't really look at the colors, but knowing that it's flashing the chakra colors, specifically at least the root in the heart colors, which is significant and connects in with activating the light body, the Merkaba ones. So we're also with this, and I got notes wrote down here I'm referring to. Also with this, so again, you got this triangle. Well, I'm going to go this way. So you got this equilateral triangle, if you will. I gotta get something out of the way here. I'm looking at the picture. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, yeah. We'll do this. Yeah. One more thing. Okay, how good can you see this? Yeah, I guess you can see it good enough. I'll point with the pen. So this is the Pleiades. This is how it was in the sky with Jupiter up here, over at this corner. Merkaba ship at the bottom. Pleiades in the middle with another ship that was dim holding the corner of this equilateral um, triangle. This is stars or ships, they're both, that are constructed in an arc. And this is significant because this is the mother arc that comes in to the Pleiades. And if you look at the feminine reproductive system, with this, let's say, being the ovary, and this is where the egg would be, is where Jupiter was at, which represents the Christosophia. So it is the Christ ship star. So it's in this location. Now this is significant because it comes down, if you will, to the fallopian tube, it will, into the Pleiades, and it creates the Merkaba, if you, and it comes out through the birthing canal, if you will. So the Pleiades is in the uterus area, so this is very significant. But what it also represents is the more of the birth of the Christ, but it's the Christosophia, and it's the Christ Sophia within all of us. So this also, it shows that the activation has done what we wish for it to do, as this being confirmed, because again, when I read the part about the activation and any that participated in it, our intention is to awaken more brothers and sisters and activate them into the love and their light bodies. So this is in full alignment. So this is what we have, um, and the mother arc comes into it, and you have the ovaries and the feminine reproductive organs as I shared. So we got that. So right after, I said, wow, okay, after I read in the sky the confirmation, then Femke had walked to the washroom, and while she was in the washroom, she was only gone a moment or two. I'm still looking and reading the message. From behind me came in the night two poof, very sudden, very white flashes that lit up the sky, and there was no lightning in the area at the time, and there was, to my knowledge, no fireballs. I had checked the next day, and nothing was reported. And I don't know where the flashes come from because they came from behind, but it was just so sudden. So with these flashes as well are, let's say, divine arcs as well of activation energy in the least, and huge light coming in, sealing it when it was in that location. When it was in that location, I'm viewing it from approximate a 45-degree angle from ground level. This is also significant when you refer back to the activation, what was written there about the specific divine feminine anchoring in from the Pleiades to ground level on a 45 degrees. And the 45 degrees, again, is significant because it is the right upright 45 degrees for the Merkaba. See, the Merkabas were distorted at 55 degrees because Gaia's Merkaba was distorted by 10 degrees off center at 55. And the 55 net we spoke about was the alien um, nefarious technology that distorted her natural rhythm and her natural field. So what we have been working on for the last 2 to 3 years is correcting the natural rhythm and field of Gaia to have her upright for ascension. She has to go this way, not 10 degrees that way. She has to be in the proper alignment, and this is what we have done. Uh, so there were two light flashes, and then just as the flashes come, then it was a lot of wind that come very sudden, and it began to whistle and hum in our little awning we had out here. And before that, it was relatively calm. So another uh, confirmation after the flashes of energy moving and securing what had occurred, basically. So even though it's not, let's say, you connect all of the dots of information and you put them all together, and they create the concrete confirmation as a whole. When you look at the alignment of these things I'm mentioning to you, they are against astronomical odds when you evaluate and discern all that I'm sharing, and the timing of it is so conspicuous and impeccable divinely. So there is no refuting nor denying it. We know. Uh, so then, what occurred is in the direction of the Pleiades, but slightly south. Then there appeared clouds, and we had a perfectly clear night sky. Then we could see some puffball, cotton ball clouds forming. Then what they did is when they formed, they went in front of where the Pleiades were at, and it was quite huge. First, it made like a dove shape with the dove tail of plasma kind of like right over the triangle where the Pleiades was at, and then it kind of tipped this way, and then it took the shape of a bird, an angel. It took the shape of a dove, not distinctly, but it took the shape that you could see it, and once you read it, you knew it was a dove, then an eagle. And of course, in the activation, we were working with the eagle, golden eagle consciousness grid, and also the condor. And the condor is important to mention because also the condor and the eagle in the South American prophecy uh, does pertain to this time, and it is in alignment and correct. So what we will see is confirming artifacts from that prophecy too, as well as the Hopi prophecy with the blue and red star Cachinas has already come to pass, and so these are very valid prophecies that also lend and support more information to this time. Um, so also, see, what we created here right on the ground is a diamond shape city of God, if you will. And where the Pleiades were at, it's holding down, if you will, also the eastern extents of this energetic diamond shape that is on the ground. Anyone, if you read the activation again, you will see where this was also spoken about. So, uh, so what we also had some pictures of the uh, rainbow and partial sun halo, and these are confirmations that come in as well, confirming sometimes parts of the process of in the progress, what is completed, and other times when we do activations, Femke and I, when it's all completed, we'll get a full halo. But so far, we got a mother arc halo that was pretty distinct here. Um, Perhaps the next day, about 2 days ago. So these rainbows arcs do appear as covenants as well in confirmations of the work we do. Having said this, the Mother Arc Hub is still in progress, and it will be. It'll continuously be empowered and built, and it is connected to 19 other pillars geographically around Gaia. And as each divine one becomes more enhanced, the energetic value also goes into the Mother Arc grid. And what this does, it is also part of the Ascension vehicle to raise the vibration all around the planet, and there is the upliftment of Gaia, the planet, through dimensional space. And any of you that are night sky watchers will see you will see the usual constellations and stars, that you will see the irregular patterns. You can also look up um, from one night to the next at the sky, and it could be completely different, uh, because things are indeed moving around dimensionally uh, in the sky with the celestial bodies as well as on the ground. And it's important to keep the eyes uh, on the sky as well. Many of your confirmations will and are coming from there, and they will increase. So that's great. Uh, I wanted to get this out so it was documented, because, as all of you know, it's so important, and we share uh, as much as we can and whenever we can. But to be again fully open with everything that goes on, I just don't have the time to share everything and record everything. We're divinely working, multitasking, assisting brothers and sisters, doing our own energetic work with our vessels, and we need to take this time in the next 3 months, Femke and I, at uh, replenishing our energetic fields. The huge work we were doing uh, had us, let's say, energetically exhausted and depleted to a point that, we got it done, but we need to regenerate, and we also need to work on our relationship, our twin flame attributes, as well as all of you. So this is the time, the next 3 months, I will say, is a time for putting out more teachings. We need to reiterate, put in the base and the fundamentals, because there are new ones that have awakened, and also upstep it as we go along, step by step, to reiterate the basics of the metaphysics, and of course the ascension in your divinity, and also began again to add in some of the higher things and higher ways to work with your energetic field as well, and much more. So, to keep it simple, I thank you all, and thank you for assuring that this is working good. So with that, namaste. We got this. It's all confirmed. Just don't ask me how long it's going to take. So we get through it and we get it done. We didn't come here to fail. We actually come here uh, winning before we ever come because it's been divinely preordained. So we're just, let's say, physically with the avatars playing out the role to take it to the finish line, or let's say the beginning line, because that's where it gets a lot more fun. So with that, love, light, and gratitude, and thank you, and have an amazing day.